But I'm interested that he refers to the situation of some workers who might have some job insecurity and potentially unscrupulous bosses. I suspect that there are many members on the opposition benches who might be familiar with an unscrupulous boss. A boss who doesn't listen to his workers, a boss who requires some of his workers to double their workload, a boss, and maybe even a boss who exploits the rules to further his own career. Remind him of anybody?
Speaker, jobless claims have risen for the fourth month in a row. Welfare claims have risen as well. Austerity actually means people being poorer, services being cut and local facilities being closed. In her speech on the steps of Downing Street, she also addressed insecure workers, saying you have a job, but you don't always have job security. Does that mean to those people that are worried about their future in work, I'm talking of the people that sent us here to serve them. Does that mean that she's proposing to scrap the employment tribunal fees, repeal the Trade Union Act, or ban zero-hours contract, as more than a dozen European nations have already done? That would help to give greater job security to many very worried people in this country.
Again, I say to the right honourable gentleman, yes, I did say that on the streets of Downing Street, and I think it's very important that here in this House we consider not only what might be called the more obvious injustices, but actually consider the life for those people for whom they are in work but struggling to make ends meet. It's essential. That's one of the things that the government has actually raised the threshold at which people start to pay income tax, for example. But it's also about making sure that we have more well-paid jobs in this country, which is also what the government is doing. But I'm interested that he refers to the situation of some workers who might have some job insecurity and potentially unscrupulous bosses. I suspect that there are many members on the opposition benches who might be familiar with an unscrupulous boss. A boss who doesn't listen to his workers, a boss who requires some of his workers to double their workload, a boss, and maybe even a boss who exploits the rules to further his own career. Remind him of anybody?
We are sent here to represent people, and there are many people in this country struggling with insecure jobs, with low wages. I know this is very funny for all Conservative members, but I do not suppose there's too many Conservative MPs who have to go to a food bank in order to supplement their family table every week. I think we should reflect on those things. The Prime Minister highlighted the failures of her predecessor on social justice, home ownership, education and the cost of living. Some might say that as a Cabinet Minister she too was responsible for that. But she empathised with working people when she said, I know you're working round the clock, I know you're doing your best, I know that sometimes life can be a struggle. Yesterday, the Institute of Fiscal Studies found that 2/3 of children living in poverty in Britain have at least one parent in work. What, other than warm words, is she going to offer those families, those children who are hungry often and very insecure in their living? Isn't it our duty to offer some hope and security to them?
Yes, it is, and we are